Hey guys, welcome to another INFJ ramble. Tonight's video is going to touch on breaking cycles. And what do I mean by that? Okay, so I'm gonna say, I don't know where this video is gonna take me, but I've had a lot of thoughts in regards to this topic, and I feel like, yeah, breaking cycles. Um, what does that mean? Like being aware of patterns or habits or behaviors in oneself that is no longer beneficial and cutting it out. I feel like I've spent most of my life. Actually, no, I haven't spent most of my life. I spent most of my life being confused, like not knowing who I was, getting heavily enmeshed in other people's energies, taking on other people's identities, you know, mistaking somebody else's reality for my own because I was a people pleaser and I didn't know how to differentiate or discern. But now I'm just kind of like, oh, okay, now that I know who I am, because I have done enough inner work to recognize that, if something doesn't sit well with my soul, then I have no problem just breaking that cycle. And it comes down to finding your voice, speaking up for yourself, not allowing people to treat you in ways that are not okay. You know what I mean? Saying no to things that don't sit well with you, declining those things, breaking those cycles. But with that being said, this video is going to kind of be left field if you are not familiar with what I'm talking about, and that's okay too. But I've spent most of my life dedicating myself to finding a remedy for suffering. I've also low-key been contemplating how to get out of this life cycle, if that even makes sense. And some downloads came through and I would like to share them with you. This video is going to kinda be akin to story time, because in order for you to understand where I'm coming from, I'm going to have to tell you a couple of stories. So the first story was, actually, there might be more than a couple of stories, but I remember over a decade ago, I met my acupuncturist, and we would have these really, really deep, conversations. He was highly spiritual, and it's funny, we could have conversations where we understood each other's language. And I remember telling him exactly what I'm telling you, how this place is full of suffering, and if I find a way to get out of it, you know, or I'm going to dedicate my life to trying to figure out how to get out of it, out of this life cycle of reincarnation and things like that, and he was telling me, well, if you figure it out, let me know. And it's funny, I think I did figure it out. Just because I've been getting downloads, and also I've been putting puzzle pieces together, and it's been making sense to me. So the second story that I want to touch on is, I had a vision of me standing on a platform. In front of me was a huge portal, and behind me were three three people sitting on thrones. And I was draped in gold and white, and the people behind me was also draped in gold and white, and we were all wearing crowns. And the people on the thrones asked me to choose. And I was like, what do you want me to choose? And they said, well, I can choose to step off the platform and jump into the portal and reincarnate onto Earth, or I could choose to ascend. And when I looked behind me, there was a staircase shaped in like the shape of I guess, a DNA strand. And in this DNA strand, there were steps. Like it was a stairway that went up to higher levels of consciousness. And yeah, they're choose. And at that time in my vision, I was conflicted, because I'm like, well, I kind of want to go back to Earth because I feel like I could still be of service. And then there was a part of me that was kind of torn, and I was like, but I kind of don't want to go back to Earth because it was so painful. And I want to, rise up and go into higher levels of consciousness. And like I said, so behind me was a strand, a DNA strand that had like these stairs, and on each stair there was people dressed in gold and white with crowns on, and they were like literally going up as far as the eye can see or could not see, and they were ascending to higher levels of consciousness. So, yeah, I told them that I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. Give me some time, and they said, "Sure, I have till the rest of my life to decide." It's pretty clear to me right now that I probably will not reincarnate back into Earth, and that's the thing. We have the choice. The thing is, I think you have to be at a certain level of understanding, self-awareness, and consciousness to realize you have a choice to reincarnate again onto Earth or to move past it into higher levels of consciousness. So, yeah, that's the second story that I have to say. The third thing that I have been receiving is also in alignment with what I am talking about, but I received a message that when you die, most people most people experience like standing over their body and then also seeing like a tunnel of light. And most people head towards the tunnel of light, right? To and they're greeted with, I don't know, like loved ones or like people who have passed on. But if you don't go into the tunnel of light and you turn around, that's how you break the reincarnation cycle, which is in correlation to my vision. You get what I'm saying? So the tunnel of light is basically the portal that you would jump into to recycle or reincarnate into the earthly plane. But if you turn around, there's another option. So it just depends. And I'm just sharing this information with people who are interested in ascending and not coming back and breaking the cycle of reincarnation. Not everybody is ready for it. Because I've talked to like most people that I talk to, they're definitely not ready to like ascend. Not at all. They're heavily enmeshed in 3D reality, and I think they're quite comfortable there. Or even if they're not comfortable there, maybe they haven't acquired enough lessons to gain access or keys to ascend. You get what I'm saying? Like they're still like baby souls or young souls or mature souls or old souls that are like having to live out cycles that they haven't completed yet in order to gain access. Get what I'm saying? Anyways, I did not get a microphone yet, so I apologize if the sound is not the best. Because right now it's stormy outside, and the plants are enjoying the rain. Anyways, I hope you are doing well. I hope you are taking time to invest in yourself. I hope you are taking time to be present and to release everything that is no longer serving your highest good. Blessings to one and all. Amen.